stor fråga.
It's just so that I don't get the light with my head. Okay. Can we get anybody? Yeah. So in a true startup manner, we're 20 minutes late, but we will actually finish in time. That's how startups do. Sometimes they have to change their plans, but they always get to the direction. So first and foremost, thank you, Roy, for coming. Actually, it's great to see. It's a bit, in a way, feels a bit sad because kind of we finished in this year, right? And so for Ray, we're like, wow, Demoday. For me, it's a bit sad because I want to see these startups continue. And now, at least for 1 month, they will actually not hear from me, probably, or most likely from us. But hopefully, some of them on the 16th of January, we actually get back on track with them. But it's been actually very interesting to see where we were at the beginning of September. I think remember the first meeting with a lot of the Telia folks that are here also there. And kind of saying, okay, what is this going to be? What is the startup guys doing with Telia? So of course there was a PowerPoint with the process, with the venues, but I think there was a lot of, I wouldn't call it uncertainty, but expectations about how this is going to work out. Is it going to actually be fun? Is it going to be, are these young guys going to even show up to a Telia event or to this young thing? It's actually extremely inspirational to be here almost 4 months later and having 5 startups that actually are going through the journey, and many of them I think are going to chase the dream to try to make it big. And I think it's also lots of fun to see a lot of you who were part of the process but didn't make it here coming back. I think, and just sharing a story that one of the teams, half of one of the teams who didn't make it actually have created another startup, and they're actually about to actually release their first prototype. I think, and that's part of what it's all about. You get connections, you get people going, and you try until it happens. So very happy to be here. For those who didn't know, we started basically with the idea garages around the country, 3 minutes pitching. See 2 of you guys who are here today were already pitching those days, so good. Then we had the hackathon at the end of September, when we actually picked up 8 teams We ran through 1 month in which we met every Thursday, and they have homework to be working. And then we selected 4 teams who have actually been going through the process, almost working full time on this, meeting with us 3 days a week, bringing our mentors. We actually got mentors coming from Czech Republic, Latvia, Lithuania, United Kingdom, and Denmark, coming to help us. So I think I have felt from day one, we have felt from day one the international vibe, not only from the teams but from the mentors. And we also we have 5 teams because we didn't pick up a 5th team, but we gave them a homework, and we gave them a challenge. I think they have more or less fulfilled the challenge, so they get the privilege and the fun to be standing here. And then we decided to continue. I think James will talk about it more about what will happen. And 3 actually out of these 5 teams will actually join us in Sweden in January 16th with other teams from Bunk, from Sweden, to actually pitch in front of an even larger crowd. So, interesting, fun. I want to thank James, I want to thank Lone, who has been here, both of them from day one, helping us making this reality. Telia, to try. A lot of you're a big company, but a lot of big companies don't try. So you have tried to do something different, and probably something that didn't feel comfortable. So that's good. And I love to have Mette, Bo, Trine, and the rest of the guys coming on the hackathon, and always feel that the energy was there. You guys always, even if you didn't know what you had to do, you came there and you put all your energy and you have fun. I think I always have felt that every one of you has had fun while doing this. I think to me at the end of the day, this is what matters. A lot of people ask, what about these mentors? Do they get paid? No, they don't get paid. No. So Peter, who is around here, who came on the weekend to help us with the pitch training, is here. Stoyan is around here, who came actually also to help us, and I even will copy a trick from him at the end of the day today. Son, who is going to come because he's in Telia. He thought the event was in Telia, so he's taking a taxi to make it here. So it happens. But all of these people have been dedicated time, and one of the best things is when you get the feedback from us. All the people say, hey, that was fantastic, I learned so much from this person dedicating 1 hour to us. And I think that's what we matter when we mentor. We just want to have an impact. We want to give back time and see if we can help you guys achieve your dreams. Well, we're not even achieving your dreams, chasing your dreams. Because as I always say, statistically, you're dead in 12 months. Right? It's the statistics, that's what it is, right? But that you are chasing it even if you're against the statistics, that's what matters. And statistically, one gets lucky and actually make it to the end. And not only has fun, but makes a lot of money, and it helps other putting money and time to make it happen again, right? And that's how it works. So thank you actually the mentors. We actually have all of them in the little posters which we signed, and we did send them actually a little scan copy. Morten was supposed to be here. I know he's very sad that he's not here because it's kind of last minute thing. But I actually want to thank him personally because I think every time he has come on board, has been a great energy into the teams, into the process. People say, oh man, the boring guy, enough of the Telia going to talk. And he was always very inspirational. I think inspired the team to actually continue and putting part of his former entrepreneurial spirit into the table. So I think that has been actually very good. But yes, maybe you can talk a little more about how does Telia feel after these 5 months, and what do we have for the future coming up?
Yep. Thank you,
yes.
Christopher. Well, I hate to stand up and start by disappointing you, but as Christopher said, Morten had agreed to come. This jump program is very close to his heart, I know, and he's been constantly pushing us throughout the whole process. But as many of you know, we I think today got a new boss for the whole of Denmark in our Chile organization. So I understand Morten has other priorities. So you have to do with me. If you look back at why we started, I think the whole jump process started with our directors going to Estonia, where they have this book program, which is very similar in Estonia, still within the Chile organization. And they, after I think a very short meeting, they came home and said, we want that. So I headcount, I was hired, and a very brief scope, make something like and I don't actually believe that we will do it this year. So I think the first surprise they had was we actually made a plan and made it happen. And so I would like first of all to thank all of you for being able to go into this so quickly and with so high commitment. It was big effort, and I think also hopefully fun for you all. So I will should be. The jump effort, if I should estimate, I guess we have like 500 people gone through our different, we had idea garages, hackathon, a lot of people. I would also estimate like maybe 100 internal Telia people, and a lot more internal people engaged on like communication levels. So it's high impact at our end. We had 100 people for the hackathon, 17 teams. Which I think 5 or something was Telia own ideas, and we had 8 of those teams going into the team validation with 3 Telia ideas, and now we're standing here with 3 winners and 2 more which we'll present today. So like 5 teams to show to you today. A long journey, and I'm really excited to see how well you will and how far you have come today, all you who present, Philip, and all of you. It's been an investment for Telia, and for those who don't know it, when Telia go into this, it's not like we want to make startup and invest and make money on that. Could be an opportunity in the future, but when Telia go into this, we want to change how we see ourselves. It's a cultural journey for us. We put our own people into this to learn from how startup think, how you look at the opportunities, and how you quickly validate and be able to grow, find ideas, repeat, find ideas. That's what actually is the value for us for now. And I've already been to a director meeting declaring this success. It was already a month ago, and we already had decided what the next step is. So Telia is in this also in the future. If you look forward, maybe just to round up, okay? Yeah. Looking into the future, we at the moment are planning an internal jump lab, we call it. So it's more like internal ideas, helping to make our processes and customer engagement better. So I'm going out to our complete customer care center, which is like 400 people, and getting them to come with ideas, putting up idea garages like we have been through, and making like a stretched out hackathon-like effort with all of them. And for now it looks really good. But I'm also a bit scared because that's not what we did here. So, and again, a lot of you will help me in this, so I need you. Another thing looking forward is the Stockholm event. Our owners from Stockholm have invited 3 winners from us and from Wunk to come up and pitch in our headquarters. I think it'll be like 200 people and live stream and a lot of knowledge about some of the areas you have ideas around. So some engagement there too. And besides that, what will happen next year, I can't tell you because I don't know, but I know there are probably more than what I've said now. So yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So next, we don't want to go into the pitch too early, right? So we actually, I asked a couple of our mentors if there was any startups that could in a way talk to us about how have they felt in the process, if you feel about them the next 6 months, the next 12 months, which I know by my own experience that are damn hard, right? So you get all this energy, but you're still extremely dependent on one thing happening or you're dead in a way, right? So how do you deal with life and death as a startup and still smile? So I think Andreas from Praise can actually tell us a bit about it. So Andreas, the floor is yours.
It's a pleasure to be invited to talk about life and death and startup life. It's sometimes closer related than you would wish, but no, it's my name's Andreas. I'm the CEO and founder of Praise, and what we do at Praise is we help companies understand their applicants. It's sort of like a personality analysis, but we do it earlier in the recruitment process, and then it's based on 360-degree feedback from the applicants network. So it's a new approach to that. and I was curious because when I was asked to come and talk here, I was being asked like, you are an established startup, so it would be nice to no, an established company or something, so it would be nice to hear from you. And I was like, yeah, established, because when you are a startup, even though you've been going at it for a couple of years, the whole notion of established is it's just, you can't help to laugh a bit, because from the inside of a company, especially, it always just feels like in a startup that you're not very established, because there's always challenges and problems that are bigger than anything you thought that you would have to deal with, and you have no idea what is going on really, and how to get to the next stage. And so that's actually the I think that's the first thing, because when I started out, I really thought we were going to do this Instagram exit on $1 billion in a year, and that was this whole idea of the startup dream that was also being mentioned before. That was the way I felt, and it's the completely wrong way to go about it. So if any of you guys are chasing the dream, as was said before, that you really don't chase the dream. If you don't like the work, the struggle of solving problems every day and getting beat down and figuring out everything we thought was wrong, let's try again, a little bit smarter this time. If you don't like that, and you should really consider whether you want to do startups, because that's really what startup life is about, and it's never changing. I mean, it's always every day. Being an entrepreneur means showing up and getting shot a ton of shit in your face and figuring out, hey, we're not dead, so let's try to work with this, right? That's startup life. And even if you see someone like Elon Musk or someone, right, like that, it's like, he's selling cars before he's even created them, right? I mean, so this whole idea of established, and it's very the other way around. It's like everything is you have to be comfortable with some level of uncertainty, and a high level of uncertainty all the time. So yeah, that was like an important point. There's always a new thing. Even when I remember, like back when we were trying to raise our first investment. I think it took like half a year from the first time somebody said, I'm going to put in the money, to we actually had the money in the bank account, right? And we really thought, like, we had a call, this was like family, like related people who said, like, just give me the account number, I'll wire you guys some money, it's fine, like, just let me know if you need anything, like that. We were like, fuck man, this is really happening. So I wrote him an email, I was like, hey, awesome, and we should probably just make like a legal thing, but this is our account number and blah blah blah, and we never heard back from him, right? and he was like pretty close friends, so it was a bit awkward. And that pretty much happened again a couple months after. It was a lawyer this time. Not a coincidence, I think. And he also we had several meetings, and he wanted to just get the final agreement on the table, but he ended up just not emailing anymore. And so, just a side note, just because people sound interested and say they want to invest doesn't mean shit. I mean, before the money is in the bank, you have pretty much nothing. I've just seen it so many times. There was another time. That was after we had gotten some investors on board. There was a new investment, and we were working with some professional people, right? Seemingly professional people, and they had some contacts in Saudi Arabia and Italy, like really rich people. They wanted to invest, and we created a term sheet based on the talks we had. We spent like 10,000 kroner on a lawyer to draw this thing up, and then apparently they had read the currency wrong. So they were like, what the hell? We didn't agree to invest like 1 million euros. It was like 1 million, it was the dumbest thing you have ever heard. Like, you would think, this cannot be. It was out of a fucking fairy tale, right? And that stuff just happens, all the time, pretty much. So that's the benefit of working in a startup is not the success at the end of the tunnel. It's really getting to sort of getting to enjoy the daily grind of solving interesting problems and working on a mission that you think is cool. Like I mean, we get to work on helping solve unemployment, right? Who the fuck can go to work and say, I'm solving unemployment, right? I mean, it's that's what you should. That's really what you need to find interesting in order to get. I mean, in order to just not live a fucking hell. If you're doing a startup, you have to get to that point. So I think I only had 10 minutes actually, but I just wanted to just a couple of end notes. I think it's very important, again, also whenever you're doing an agreement, whether it's like in between in the team or with investors or anything, I think you should always talk is fine, but I think it's good to get concrete very early on. Like if you have any sort of ideas about how you should work together, what kind of arrangement, like draw it up, like what would a contract look like? Because I've just seen a lot of time people are very nice to each other and yeah, this is totally gonna work, like we're gonna make it together, yeah. And then you spend a bunch of meetings and you know, it's just a waste of time because when it comes down to actually getting the stuff on paper, getting down to the details of how much to actually trust each other and stuff like that, you just find out like, okay, this agreement is never gonna, we're just too far from each other, right? So it's just all talk. So that's, I think that's a good advice. And then, I forgot the other one, but you can, yeah, that was just what I have to say. So, I don't know if I can take questions or.
Any question? We take one question. How is the traction so far? How is the traction compared with the traction you thought you were going to have?
Well, that's pretty shitty. But yeah, it's we just helped we helped Elon with all the recruitment for the Christmas sales and stuff. So that was a really good case. And we're selling to a couple of large companies now and stuff. But yeah, there's another thing really important. Just find out like who is your if the person that based on their characteristics you just have to be able to sell to them. Like nail down your key customer. Like because you can just spend so much time chasing like big names and companies like that, and it's just a waste of time. You have to figure out like who should hypothetically buy your product, and if they are not willing to buy it from you, you really have to like sit down and look in the mirror and stuff. Yeah.
I know your case, and just because one of these companies presenting is also about enterprise sales.
Mm.
So in basic, you want to sell a platform solution, but do you have to, as a company, go like backwards in the value chain and do like the whole facilitation, like being a consultant within the whole recruitment process, in order to get people onboarded in the sales on the platform?
So you're asking if you want to do like B2B, like software as a sales, if you have to do the consultancy thing first,
to actually get your customers on board in this phase?
Yeah, no, I think that was one of the mistakes that we did, was we thought we could just start out by doing software as a service, that just basically an internet, sell our service online, because we were like, this is so fucking easy to use, anyone can do this, right? So we were just putting it online and it's like no one is buying, right? What the fuck? And then we realized, I mean, even if you have the most, I mean, this is one of the things where you just get your model of the world just crushed over and over and over again, right? Because you have all these assumptions, and so I think whenever you want to do something like that, you should really always start from the consultancy point of view. Start doing things that doesn't scale in the beginning, create value, and then figure out afterwards how do you take that and scale it, right? And we did it the other way around. We started by thinking really big, like, fuck man, this is gonna blow everyone out at once. and it's super scalable, and nobody wanted it. It's pretty stupid. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Thank you. One good part is that everything here has signed an agreement among them, and it's actually on paper, because in fact that was part of the rules, because I agree totally with Andreas about, talk is good, but until you see it in paper, it doesn't matter. And when people see, oh, my effort is worth 25% of this company, people start thinking, okay, what is my effort? So that is actually a good part. I wanted to just give the floor to Olivier, who is actually the owner, or one of the owners of this place, and also bring with him one of his social startups, just because of what you guys are doing is quite different. And we give you the floor for 5-10 minutes between both of you, and then we go into torture. The good thing is, as our mentors are coming late, it's giving me the chance to thank them one by one. So Steen came on the back, so I saw Peter also around. I will thank you. Every break I thank 2 of the mentors who have been part of the process. So thank you again. Olivier, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So my name is Olivier Silvestre, French name, but grew up in Denmark. So if you're thinking, what is this Danish-English accent, that is why. This is KPH, and I just want to make a quick survey. How many of you know this place? Yeah, a few. We have KPH is this 3rd floor, the 4th floor, and our big venue, KPH Volume, where you can do a lot of stuff. You can have events, parties. You can sell a lot of stuff. You can do whatever you want, very cheap. So the whole idea of KPH is, I'm going to use Andreas' analogy, that if you are an entrepreneur and you get shit in your face, why not have shit in your face with other entrepreneurs? Why not even ask other entrepreneurs who already have shit in your face, so you don't need to get all this shit in your face? So the 3rd floor here is for young social and cultural entrepreneurs who want to test their idea. They want to trial. They might fail. They try again. They might fail again, and at some point they might succeed. And when they succeed, they go to the 4th floor. And up there, they have bigger offices. They have the possibility to have a lot of meeting rooms, to professionalize their idea, their organization. And at some point, they might move out from KPH into the city and continuing giving value to the city.
You can move. There's no 5th floor.
No 5th floor. No 5th floor. We might do that at some point. The roof floor. No, but the thing is, at KPH, if you want a room here, if you want to be a part of this, you have to write all your competences, your idea, what you're good at, and you have to put it on the wall, so that if there are some startups that are thinking about an idea, if they're thinking about a product, oh, I'm really good at marketing, but I need some software design. They can go to look at the wall. Casper's really good at that. So I'm going to talk to Casper, and he's going to help me, because he has to put 3 hours per month into KPH. So they help each other. So this is the basic idea about KPH, and I'm going to give you 2 quick examples. I don't know if you know Strøm. Any of you? Yeah, Strøm actually started here. So there was these guys who were really into electronic music, but didn't have the office, didn't know what to do or what their idea was going to be. And they worked on it, and now Strøm, they make Bass on a Boom, so an electro street day, where there's a lot of music, a lot of stuff happening. They even put electric music on into the school. So instead of these classical music instruments you need to play, and you don't even know how to do it and you forget it, they want to put electronic music into the school. So that's quite interesting, just for you to get an idea of how big things can be. We have Comeback as well. That's an old boxer who thought the integration policies in Denmark were really, really bad. And so he wanted to combine his own boxing thoughts process with entrepreneurship. So he wanted to see if he, by combining those two, what would happen. And Comeback now has a program for young people who has been in gang-related activities, where he takes them out of the gangs and he makes them entrepreneurs. And it's working so well that actually the anti-radicalization program in Denmark, they're hiring them to get a part of the whole process, to see what are they doing right that we can kind of fix. So this is just a kind of ideas of what is happening here at KBH, and that together we can make each other better, we can make our ideas more strong, and that's going to be my final note. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Connor. I'm the founder of Refugees Entrepreneurs Denmark, and I'm here at KBH as part of a social enterprise.
Which floor? Fourth floor, fifth floor?
At the moment,
floor.
is the first
Okay.
6 months, so we're on third floor, and plus, obviously, right? So hopefully, eventually, we'll go up to fourth floor. At the moment, yeah, I know. At the moment, there is an employment rate of refugees of 17% after 3 years, after a 3-year integration program. So the way that the government is approaching getting the refugees into work right now isn't working. They're chucking all of this money, they're putting them in 4-week internships, and they're just coming out and going back and complaining. So what we're thinking, or my train of thought is, okay, we need to create smart integration, and we need to completely relook the way that we support refugees into work. Which is why I created Refugees Entrepreneurs Denmark. Because not only can they be seen as a resource to Denmark, we have guys who want to create their own social enterprise, who employ marginalized and subject to violence, women who have been subjected to violence, Danish and refugee. But then we also have guys on the other side of the spectrum who just sell a product on the market. So it can work both ways. I mean, they can pay financially, they can pay socially, whatever. But the idea is that if we can harness these guys to create their own business, they can then set the way for the other refugees to also be employed. So we use refugee entrepreneurs as an integration tool. And the reason why the current system isn't working is because companies don't have time, money, the ability to, or the patience to develop these refugees. So why not use refugee entrepreneurs who speak their language, understand their cultures, to support them in work programs. Also, we have refugees who actually employ Danes, and they are giving them a pay packet every month. So the idea is that we can get both sides to work with each other, and get both sides to not see each other as both sides and come together to build their own business. So rather than saying, okay, you're a refugee, you're only good for driving a taxi. What you can say is, you're a refugee, you can create a job, you can also employ a Dane who can then go home, go on holiday, thanks to this refugee creating their own business. Obviously, right now, we are 5, about to be 6 people who work for me. All great guys, all with different skills, different talents. And hopefully, we have, well, we're about to get our 9th refugee entrepreneur. And there's ways that these two can work together. So, for example, we utilize the social entrepreneurs in-house. So there's a refugee who wants to create a cafe in Roskilde. Simple. But there's also social entrepreneurs who want to create events in Roskilde. So what we do is we connect the two. So we give them a place to create an event. It also helps to promote the refugee. So there's ways that those who can work together and boost each other's businesses and boost the development. Right now, we're trying to record our findings and sort of say to the government, hey, listen, this is a new way to go around it. And this is a new way to approach refugee integration. I'm not saying it's the answer. I'm not saying all of a sudden it's going to go from 17 to 100% employment, but you know, it could set the scale to like 25-30%, which is a lot better than what it is now. So yeah, mine is just one of the examples of social enterprises that create social impact at KPH.
What is your main challenge?
Funding right now, because we have a lot of great support structures. I mean, we create Danish entrepreneurs out of refugee entrepreneurs. We create jobs, but the issue is that we're trying to apply for EU funding, which takes time, and then we try to also teach the refugees at the same time. So we're working with all of these different businesses, but we're also trying to build up our own business. And right now we're building about 1 refugee entrepreneur per month. And we've only been going like 6-7 months. So we have a lot of tasks to do and a lot of work. My girlfriend hates me. But yeah, I mean, that's life.
You're not alone.
Yeah, exactly. So, she would hate me for a different reason. There wasn't that. But yeah, so if you ever get the chance, please come down here and see the great work that some of the guys are doing at KBH. And as you said, the KBH volume is open to any events if you wanted to create a hackathon. I know that we also are going to create a hackathon for refugee entrepreneurs down there. So it's a massive space, and it's a great idea, and we have some great businesses here. So feel free to pop by, doors always open.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you. Actually, very, very inspiring. And I think again, yeah, from 17 to 30 is at 13%. Is actually almost 100% increase. I think that would be amazing. And actually, from our point of view, you need help with mentors when you do the hackathon, etc. Let's talk later and see if we can help you with some of the areas. So that's actually perfect. Right. So finally, we get into the pitch battle. If you start too early, they don't get nervous. Right? So it's important that they are for 30 minutes sweaty and I'm getting nervous. And man, I got to forget what I was going to say. So now they're getting there. So that's when it gets much more fun. So they love this part. So we're going to do the usual as we have done until now. This is going to be 3-minute speech. Then we get about 2 or 3 questions. Jesper always asks more questions, especially Jesper plus 2 more questions, usually. We're going to be, they can use visuals as support, but not PowerPoint. So there will be a couple of slides of demo, or some like more creative and make kind of a movie. We have some live demos, but no boring PowerPoint. But basically that's integrated on the 3 minutes. So having said that, we start with Timbers. Then we go with a good question. Then we go to Abogini. Then we go to, you will say the new branding name, formerly known as Ads Cycle, and we finish with the still known as Lights Up team in that order. So Jacob Timbers, the floor is yours.
I'll just get started. So, let me just ask you a question real quick. So, have any of you guys ever had a dream? And if you have, could you please raise your hand? That's great. I see we've all had a dream before. So, in this dream, is anything possible? Is everything possible in this dream? Yes? Yes. No? Yes? Yes? To some extent, right? We dream about anything. So, let's take that dream and make it a reality, a virtual reality. And you guys might be thinking, it's kind of a little bit weird that I'm asking you about your dreams. But in your dreams, I want you to imagine that anything is possible, because it is possible. Your brain is not limited by laws, by physics, by rules, like in the real world. You can let your creativity flow free. So, Teamverse is a software development company that has created a collaborative platform for companies and for consumers where they can share their ideas, they can brainstorm their ideas, because sometimes their ideas are very, very complicated and they need to bring it down simply. They need to get a visual, they need to get a hands-on their idea. And this can be really, really difficult. And I see you're looking a little bit confused at me, and that's totally fine. It's a very abstract idea. But let me give you guys a quick example of how and what it could look like. So, if we take Telia, for example, what Telia could use, because they're the ones organizing this event, so I thought it would be relevant to use Telia. So Telia, they have a lot of customer service, they have a lot of customer information, so they're constantly in contact with customers. And what I mean by this is that they can use our program, our collaborative platform, our meeting platform with their customers, where they can provide information about Telia, or they can just simply learn more about Telia, or just play a game simply on our collaborative platform. But what you also can use it for is actually, you can go in and see this meeting space, which is here, exploring the lobby. And you guys can test this today. You guys can go into the virtual reality, you guys can see what it looks like and how it's going to work. So, this sounds pretty good, right? Yeah? But, let me tell you guys why we're special. I mean, as Gary Vaynerchuk said, ideas are shit. They're fucking shit. But execution is the goddamn motherfucking game. Right? It's the goddamn game. Just because you have an idea doesn't mean anything. It's execution that counts. And that's exactly what Teamverse does. Teamverse executes. We have an idea, we've done it. We have a demo today that you guys can try out so you can see exactly what we mean. So, why should you guys be listening? Why should you even be interested in Teamverse? Well, because virtual reality is the communication of the future. It is. Back in the 80s and 90s, we never thought that virtual reality would become a real thing. There was a massive hype. Have you guys seen Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yeah? Didn't he go to Mars? Wasn't that awesome? That was pretty awesome, right? Sorry, let me just run out real quick. So back at that time, there was a massive hype, but we couldn't live up to it. But now, today, we have the technology to bring customer service to the 21st century, but also bring your dreams to a reality, a virtual reality.
How do you make money?
Yes, I was thinking you're going to ask us that. Okay, so as you know, virtual reality is not yet into every consumer's hands. So we cannot just put it online and say, guys, buy it, because we're not going to make money out of that. However, since we're building a platform, then we actually are developing a lot of tools. We're developing an interaction system. We're developing a lot of things which can be repurposed for other situations. So for example, while we're developing collaborative, social, interactive platforms, which in the future would be for consumers and for basically anybody who would like to have this experience, meanwhile we're going to go to specific customers and we're going to say, guys, do you need a showroom in virtual reality? Easy, we already have that done for our platform. You guys, you want to have a social community for your product, then you're going to pay a little bit more, but yeah, we have that technology to do it much faster than other companies will. So in this way, we're able to survive until VR becomes mainstream, and at that point, when everybody has it, people will be looking for ways in which they can express themselves, and especially express themselves together. And you should, if you think you know how it feels to be with somebody else in VR, but you haven't tried it, then you have to try it. And just trying VR is not enough. You actually have to be there with some other people to actually understand how big the potential is for the technology.
This guy takes selfies on Sundays on virtual reality with his friends. So that's how you spend Sunday like these days.
And the demo you're going to try today, we managed to do it using some of the things we've developed already in 5-6 days or something like that. So I think, yeah, there's a Christmas surprise in there you can try.
Yes, but no questions?
No. Maybe if you could briefly describe the demo for those who haven't time, just for people to understand.
So basically, this is the menu page where you have the it just works with the phone. So if you have a Samsung Gear VR and a Samsung S6 or S7 and the Gear VR device, then you can just use it. You have a page with customer information where you can meet with somebody live from Telia, if Telia decides that they ever want to employ somebody to spend time in virtual reality. But you can also watch videos, for example, commercials from Telia, some presentations, stuff like that, just to learn about Telia in general. And in this other place, it's like this hall where you can walk around and you can do some interactive things. You're going to see what, right now inside, okay, I'm going to spoil a surprise. There's a Christmas tree and there's a lot of presents which you can open and check out what's inside. But basically, in this space, if you go in a shop, you put it on, you meet with other Telia customers. In this space, you can talk together. Meanwhile, you can be waiting to get customer support, or just be in a big queue, and then you get information here whenever it's your turn, for example. And then you get a good engagement experience in the Telia shops.
Thank you.
This is the virtual reality of an ocean.
Yes.
It's pretty good. Pretty good the little fish. Oh, I can only do it on. Talents lie elsewhere.
Remember your
Oh, yeah.
your mark.
It's the mark. There we go. The dances part does the presentation, actually.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm also going to start with a quick question for everyone. And that is, how many people here, by show of hands, have received a survey in their email inbox and then just completely ignored it? See, that's what I thought. For some reason, surveys are just inherently boring or just not engaging enough to make us actually care about taking them. And that's really bad because marketing departments work really, really hard on making these surveys, but whatever they do, the average response rate on surveys still remains at about 10 to 15%. So how are we supposed to get information from the remaining 90%? Good question. What we found out is a way to not only boost your response rate, but simultaneously also make your brand look better in the process. Our concept is simple. We're combining surveys with charitable donations. Every single time a survey taker engages with one of our surveys, they activate a small donation in their own name to a charitable partner. And then the companies sponsor that donation. It's simple. It's good old-fashioned corporate social responsibility, people. And we're using it to make your market research strategies better. And the best part is, it actually works. We've used this concept on pilot tests, and we've actually been able to increase response rates by up to 60%. It's crazy. And the great thing is that most companies are already using CSR initiatives in their companies, and that's fantastic. But the thing is, we're now showing you a new way to approach CSR so that you can get more value for your own brand and your company. But the thing is, CSR isn't just about throwing money at charities anymore. It's about telling a story, and we're here to help you shape that narrative because we now know all the biggest players in the industry. We have contacts at World Wildlife Foundation, World Animal Protection, Plan International, and the World Bicycle Relief. And they're all trusting us to come out to people like you and teach you how to use your CSR for the best possible way. But additionally, what we provide you and your customers is trust. You see, we are the guardian angels of goodwill. And when you partner with us and have our logo on your survey, then you're showing your customers that you are willing to be held liable and responsible for the donated promises that you've made. And that trust is crucial. Now, in the past 2 months, our small team, including Annika over here, our business-minded person, and Thomas, our technical wizard, we've contacted all these NGOs, and they're willing to be partnered with us. And then we also already have our first customer in line to use our concept. And starting February 1st, the first version of Good Question is going to go live online so that people from all over the world can use the Good Question concept on their surveys. The thing is, we're a really small team, but we truly believe in the value that Good Question pushes forward. And we think that we can truly change the world with this. So if you agree with us or want to hear more about how we can change the world together, come talk to us after the presentation. Because there is enough value in this world to go around, and we can help you share it. Good questions.
Good questions. How big is the market?
How big is the market? Well, currently, like last year, Fortune 500 companies spent about $15 billion on CSR alone. So that's one market. And then market research market is huge as well. Last year, they had about more than $45 billion in revenue from market research companies. So there's a lot of money going out there for not only getting information, but also giving to donations. Here.
And how do you make money?
How do we make money? Do you want Annika as our business person? We have
I
different.
actually made a little slide for that.
Yeah.
This is our, I don't know if that's pronounced right, but it's our critical lane bus.
Yeah.
It's 10 customers with 2 surveys and 1 license.
Mhm.
The way we make money is we have a little rate on each completion
Mhm.
of the survey. Then we have license to use our logo on our surveys and on our customers' webpage.
Yeah.
Beside that, we have service hours to make partnerships with,
Yeah.
the NGOs.
Yeah.
As
Because
we see it, yeah.
it takes a lot of energy to get the right NGOs to partner with the corporations, because NGOs are pretty picky. So the fact that we know which NGOs a company is already made for, or what suits their brand the best, we can facilitate that process, that adds a lot of value to companies. Because you don't want to be telling the wrong story or get rejected.
Just a quick question. How do you make sure that the money donated by the surveys goes to the actual people and not to the administration of NGOs? That's part of the reason why people don't want to give money.
Well, number one, we're entering, every single time somebody makes a survey on our platform, they're entering into a legal contract that the money goes to the NGO. And now you're asking how the money goes from the NGO to the people?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's where we're working with more project-based within the NGOs. So for example, Plan International, we've been talking to, they're doing specific scholarship programs. So we can say that the money's going to this scholarship program, not necessarily Plan International as a whole, if that makes sense.
I was just thinking that maybe it might, not changing your business plan, but maybe it might be better for you to create your own like project funds. So for example, you become a funder of these, and you know this directly going to, so rather than being a middleman,
Yeah.
you become, when they donate the money, it actually goes to you guys, and you guys donate to the good causes on the actual projects that you think is better.
I completely agree with you, and that's the way I would like it to be. But by the companies donating directly to the charities, and this is, then there's tax benefits for the company, and that adds a little bit more value to our platform. Ideally, we would like it. That's the world we live in.
Okay, thank you.
Who's keeping the time? You're keeping the time? So, hi everyone.
Hi.
Did you know that the tutoring industry is today worth around 100 billion US dollars? And it's not even efficient. People still make posts in public announcement boards or post in random social media or forums out there. If I want to now start tutoring Spanish, I will have to spend an average of 1 hour in not in teaching actually, but in finding my customers, contacting them, scheduling, setting the plan, everything. For $10 to $15 an hour, it's just not worth it. Let's get that to the other side. I'm pretty sure that most of us have been students. And when exams come close, you wish that you didn't skip that many classes, or that you could just book somebody for another year to just sit down and set everything straight. Or many professionals out here, right? I'm pretty sure that you wish that once you could book somebody to teach you a language or to teach you a technology for a specific project. Well, now this is possible. My name is Awa, and I'm representing Our Genie. We're building a platform that allows anyone to sign up and start tutoring one-to-one virtually, without any hassle. Tutors in Our Genie have only to set up their profile once and then focus on what they do best, which is in teaching. Same goes to the learner side. It is very easy to discover tutors and to book them immediately. And after that, it's about enjoying the experience, and we take care of the rest. Today, after 1 month and a half, there's around 2,000 tutors available in Our Genie. We're focusing on collecting the feedback because we want to improve the experience and the efficiency of the platform. Meanwhile, we're also learning the dynamics of the marketplace, so we get ready for 2017 before we launch to the biggest European countries. We're a team of 4. We have 4 different nationalities, we have 3.5 developers, we have 4 types of different craziness, and recently we attended to a hackathon, and then we ran into the Ministry of Education in Finland, and they want us. They're interested in bringing Our Genie to the Finnish schools. So right now we're looking for UX designers and front-end developers, and we want to grow a team, and we want help to scale this product to 7 billion people around the world. So what are you waiting for? Join the Our Genie revolution. So this is the team. Adrian here, Sarin here, and Aska. Yes, thanks.
Is there any other competitive platforms similar to yours that are already established?
Yes, for example, Berblink, they are mostly active in the States, and then focused on languages, for example. There's another one called Czech Tutors, and then they're more general. I had a good time, you know. So they're focusing on, for example, SAT tests, so high school preparation before university. Many more, actually there's a lot of activity there, but there's no big player yet, and we want to be there. Yes.
So what about if everybody knows Mentor Denmark, Niklas? So what if he decided tomorrow that he wanted to start a business?
He did.
Doing something. Sorry?
He did.
He did?
I talked to him after that.
Oh, online as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are you guys going to do when you're going to be competing with a guy who has won several awards within mentoring? He's a very, very popular brand. How are you guys going to differentiate yourselves from Mentor Denmark?
That's a very good question. I think that the business model of Mentor Denmark right now, I look into it, is very different from ours. So first of all, they hire all the tutors they have, right? Which means also they're very, very present. They check into their traffic, and they're very, very present in Denmark. That's true. But our business model is not relocation based, and we're not really hiring people. We're allowing everyone to just sign up and start teaching. So we're going for scale, and we're going for internationality. And now I chose to focus on languages and coding. But we want to just test this and see if it goes big enough to, as soon as possible, scale to any other segments. So one day, you can actually hire somebody to teach you how to make paella from Spain. Doesn't that sound cool? And I think Mentor Denmark is, another part is that the segment is parents, right? Well, or students that are now in elementary school or high school. So I think they are pretty much close in this huge market of like elementary education, which is not only the thing we want to do.
Have you thought about Facebook? Because there's so many Facebook groups where people just post, hey, can anyone help me with Spanish, or can anyone help me make paella? And tons of people will answer because people want to help, because we live in a sharing economy. So everyone is willing to help, it seems, these days. So how are you going to compete with Facebook groups? Because
actually,
you
we're not
don't really have to sign up.
Yeah, we're not competing with Facebook. We are using Facebook for our advantage. For example, we have a Facebook group where you can just get in there and get some benefits for being the early starters. And we're finding ways of using Facebook to spread the word of Our Genie. For example, referral systems, or anything about scraping all the forums, all these public groups talking about it. Because another thing is that Facebook doesn't allow you to do payments through the platform, which is something that we want to do. And we want to offer all these features around to make it more efficient for tutors and also learners. So you only have to use that. But you can also sign up with Facebook. You don't need to make another account in there. I don't know if that answers your question. That seemed very serious.
No, it was more the fact that people can just post in any group, really, like, oh, I need help with this, is anyone willing, and then they can meet up and...
Yeah, people do that, right? But I don't think Facebook is on target only towards that. And then it could happen that you post something and you get help. But what about that person being the right person for you? Or other things that we do, we cover with the matchmaking and all these things. It's because that is true, and then that's how it works right now. First of all, you call your friend and ask about that, and that's basically how Facebook works, right? You post on social media, but that doesn't mean that you have coverage around the world.
And so with Facebook, it's much harder to create a sort of CV around what your tutoring style is, what your teaching style is. And this is really that to essentially solve this for tutors, that you have this one CV online that shows, right, these people, one trusted CV that shows I've been teaching these people and these are the reviews from the people. In the same way that eBay and Facebook are very different, right? In Facebook you can sell things, but you don't necessarily have a profile associated with it that clearly shows how good you are at what you do. But yeah, it's a competitor.
Jesper.
I think that people were all around. Basically, a question would be, how are you different? Because you mentioned a few competitors. I did a small Google search and I found the first 1,000 in this competitive space. So how are Aborigine different than all the other?
You have to wait and see until launch and try it out, and then it's like asking, why is Airbnb different, why is Uber different? It's something, yeah. Or maybe it's just about how many people get into the platform and how fast we grow. Because this is at the end is marketplace, right? So it relies on the network you create with it.
But then again, you talk about user acquisition, and right now you are a team of 4 where you say 3.5 are developers, and you're talking about a marketing game.
We don't come from development background, by the way. We too come from business background.
Okay.
We just got into development because we believe in implementation like the other teams.
So right now you're different in the belief that you are the best in the user acquisition game within the online tutoring
So
industry.
from right, it's a very competitive space, no question there. But so far, I've not found a platform, for example, where it's like Uber, because essentially you want an experience like Uber, but for tutors and students.
That's a pretty big loaf of bread you're starting to bake right now.
But you gotta start somewhere.
We gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. There was a conference last Thursday at DTU called Nordic EdTech Conference. Did you attend?
I signed up but didn't attend. Yes.
Okay. Could be a good place to be. You would have experienced the Canopy Lab. You want to do exactly the same as you with the white label business model.
What is that?
A white label business model. You would also have been able to meet Nicholas Carney, whom I personally invited to this event to talk about. Maybe what's the biggest...
I think first, let's connect after. So maybe you can hook us up. You seem to have good contacts in the industry. So
yeah,
I'll catch you up.
But just one thing down, because we've been on this one for 4 months. There is one difference right now. You ask them about the customer acquisition. This was before they were talking about dominating Germany, going there first. And we already figured out that they have no idea about customer acquisition. And then they need the next 6 months to understand how do you find channels that provide you actually customer acquisition in a scalable way. And then you can go into talking about you're going to be huge, big Uber or whatever you want, right? But it is still a lot of learning on how to acquire customers. And secondly, how the experience is that good that people really value the experience, and you can then claim they're like Uber.
I think that like one of the major take from an event like this is also to have a discussion and nudge people in a certain direction. So by being constructive in feedback is maybe also to nudge startups towards a focus and not want to bake the biggest bread in the beginning. You eat an elephant one bite at a time, so to speak, and that's my point.
I agree with you, and I appreciate feedback. Every time you have given us a lot of feedback, and then every time we have learned something new from you, and then it's not something. Well, I mentioned clearly before that we are still learning the dynamics of this marketplace. We know there's 1,000 competitors out there, but we know there's no big player yet. And this is a two-sided marketplace, winner takes all. And it doesn't matter for us if the man from Denmark is so famous here and then wants to, because it doesn't mean that there's no place for us. They haven't taken all of the market yet. So if that's your line of argument, just.
Good, thank you.
Good, thank you.
So the last rebranding case, jump, so far.
So far.
Is the fourth.
I don't know what that
Is the fourth rebranding.
Yeah, I saw that you actually forgot our name.
No,
we put it in a nice way. So
that's all about improvising.
Alright. Yeah, so intervals. So, have you ever seen the city from above? Isn't it amazing how vibrant it is? All the people, the cars, the bicycles moving around. It's almost like it's a huge ant colony, right? And then we thought, what are ants actually doing? Well, they gather resources from all over the place and bring them in their nest. So we have an idea that will help many businesses grow, and it all started from this actually. According to a recent study, by 2020, the revenue generated by big data and IoT in the Nordics alone will be around 12 billion euros. But still, a lot of companies might have a hard time to tap into this potential. And that might be because of the time and the money needed, or it may simply be because they haven't heard about interflows just yet. Remember the ants in the beginning? Well, that's exactly how our business works. Like the ants, we gather resources. In our case, it's data. And like the ants, we bring them in the nest. In this case, it's our servers. And the way we do that is by using a simple yet powerful device and installing it on moving vehicles. The device is equipped with a multitude of sensors that allow us to track, to record, and transmit the data that our client needs. So based on that, it's actually what sets us apart. Because instead, unlike most of the companies today, we don't focus on online data. We focus on outdoor city readings, and we don't use fixed stations. We use mobile stations. But who's leading the colony? Well, right now we're three people in the team: myself, Cosmin, Andre, and Razvan, and we're still looking for talented people with interest in big data, because that's an area we don't have that much experience in. So we can use your help definitely with that. So grab me after the pitch if you think that's interesting for you. Let's see what we've done in the past couple of months. We started with a pilot test in Aalborg, and we created with that pilot test a heat map of the signal strength across the city for different telcos. But of course, we've come a long way since then. We pivoted 4 or 5 times, including the name. And right now, we're focusing on gathering and validating the interest in environmental data. And that is air, temperature, pressure, and humidity. And because our go-to-market strategy relies on using bikes, we naturally partner up with the biggest bike rental in Copenhagen, which we'll use to do our second pilot test. For the next month, that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to build the prototypes. We're going to install it on 10 to 20 bikes, run the pilot test, and then after the pilot test, we will scale to all the 2,000 bikes that Copenhagen bicycles have. And this being said, it doesn't matter whether it's transportation or communication or environmental. With interflows, big data is not a big problem anymore. Thank you. Woo.
Yes. Yeah. Christian, yeah. Good to see you moving closer to IoT, which is very close to Telia hearts, as you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of questions, but maybe I should focus a bit.
Like
first question, how do you make money here?
Well, the way we see this is, of course, using the data. The data is very important, but
in the end, what we're trying right now is to find the right kind of data. And once we find the right kind of data, we can actually use this and transform it and package it and make it useful, because just having a lot of data, it is useful, but it's also a hassle. So once we find the right type of data, then we can actually make it actionable. So make it a package and make it actually useful for our clients without them spending too much time looking into that.
But do you have you have the operator example where signal strength could be something we may want to buy?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have other examples where city data could be?
Yeah, of course. I mean, right now we're trying to get in contact with DMI, with the Meteorology Institute. We've exchanged 20-something emails or something. So, by the way, if anybody has any contacts in there, we'd love to please your help, because it's just not moving. It's just not moving. But anyways, coming back to that, one way will be looking at that data will be to improve the forecast. But there are also a lot of possibilities, because we're using bikes, and Copenhagen and a lot of cities around the world are shifting towards using bikes. Then we can use this data to create for the city, for the commune, to create a better, to have a better understanding of when the bikes are going, to create lanes for them. We can also, we're looking into monitoring the level of CO2 emissions and other pollutants. And then we can also, the city council can also make the lines according to where's the less pollution. So when you're biking, you're not being polluted at all. So of course there are a lot of possibilities in that sense. But like you had to focus on one question, we have to focus also on the right data, and that's what where we are in the process, more or less, finding out the right data.
Why you have not launched the pilot yet?
Well, because in startups you learn a lot, and we just learned that if you order something from the States, you're gonna have some troubles on the customs, probably. Well, at least we had. So our package is in the customs for almost a week right now. They said today that it's going to get to us by the end of the week. So that's the reason.
Impressive presentation. You've come a long way. One of the major headaches in the big data area is providing the data in an edible way. Right. So either you go to the customer, ask them in what format they want it, and you just provide it. Do you have a notion of you were talking about city data collected from bikes, right? Yeah. Do you have a notion of in what format the customer would like the data, in raw data, in Excel, CSV, or in heat maps, or report?
Well, of course that depends on the customer itself and what they want to use it for it. But I think the most important thing is just not to throw all the data on them without processing or anything. So make it actionable. Either if it's a heat map or an Excel file, that I think it really depends on the customer's needs. And from that sense, I think all the time we're gonna have a consultancy side to our business, regardless of how far we get or how much we scale, because the type of data, it's really different from customer to customer. So we really need to sit down and have a talk about what they want to get out of it and how they want to receive this information. Yes, I see you have a question.
It's such a throwback to Praise, who's here, who's also selling enterprise solutions. In this sense, you're talking about going a consultancy way and from there building?
It's not a consultant. I just said that there is a consultancy part to it.
Okay.
Right?
The vision is to make a platform. But most times when you collect data from a sensor, it's a good place to have some kind of dashboard where you can see the data, right? If you cannot make the dashboard right now, maybe it could be that you could actually do a pre-sale and sell them a report where you take Excel sheets and make them into graphs, right?
Of course. I mean, we can do heat maps right now. We actually did that in all work. So we have the demo, it's interactive, you can see where we have the measurements and the exact location, like the quality of the signal in those locations. So that we can already do, and there are a lot of things that we can do, but we don't spend too much time into it because it just doesn't make sense until we find the right type of data. But there are of course possibilities, and heat maps, it's very simple for us to do, as we already did.
So then the consultant basically is teaching them what you can read from a heat map.
Yes, but no, the consultancy is just in the beginning. So if you're coming to me and say, okay, I want this kind of data and this kind of data, then we sit down and have a talk. Okay, so you want this, we can do this. We cannot do this, we can do this. You say, okay, I want it in a heat map, okay, we can do that. I want it in some weird format that nobody heard of, okay, we cannot do that. So that's what I know.
I think we should also that other people have questions in, so...
Yes. I see you're still insisting on the bike model,
Yes.
which limits your expansion. Have you thought about using other
Yeah,
public
of course.
transportation?
Of course. We talked about using cars, of course, as a way to do that. Car rental services is one option, also delivery services, but also consumers, also for bikes and also for cars. For bikes, we have a pretty good understanding of what we can offer to the consumer so that they will go for such a solution. For cars, it's still a bit along the way.
I have a final question maybe. Many of the IoT data gathering businesses have some issues about privacy, and even if they are allowed to sell data, if you own data when it's not you is riding the bicycle. Have you looked into this issue?
Yeah, well, the data is owned by the one who is produced, so by basically by the one who has the device that produced the data, and at least in the first stage with the Copenhagen bicycles, we're working with a business. So we're installing this on bikes that are owned by a business, and we reach an agreement with them. So there is really no issue of privacy in there, because there isn't a personal bike at this point, at least.
Okay, thank you.
The original plan was that we used one computer, so I was actually prepared for that one.
But there's always those Apple guys.
But there's always something
Can't
else.
live with Windows, you know.
So, but I'm getting there. What's likely today? And there it is.
Woo!
Hi everybody, my name is Liewe and I'm from Light Up. We all know that proper tools to the job saves time and money. That's why service engineers like Mahmoud, working on Telia's network, are using proper tools. But as soon as it is getting dark, he has to choose between this or that. And it's getting dark now, but it was a little bit too early. This is a handy flashlight, but it is annoying everybody.
Yes.
especially upcoming traffic. That, on the other hand, at the correct height, it's creating an enormous amount of light. And when you're working along roads, it actually acts as a safety bubble, so people can see you from a distance. But it's needless to say that equipment like that is heavy, noisy, time-consuming to install, and is not cheap. There must be a better solution. At Light Up, we thought of a better solution. We're combining this, the portability of this, with the power of that. It's actually very dark here. It was actually not the idea. Thank you very much. I start all over again. My name's Leo. So actually we are combining the portability of this and the power of that in one product. We're keeping the pole so we can get the light high up. We remove the cable and replace it with a battery, like all modern tools do. And to show you how fast and easy it is, oh sorry, thank you very much, Moment. Can you start it? And we put this all in this small container. Lightweight, handy. And to show you how fast and easy it is, we have a little demo. Can somebody turn off the light now? Thank you very much. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Woo. And at light up, it's not that easy. We're working on that one. At Light Up, we think bigger, much bigger. But to show you how big our prototype is, that will be dangerous in this location. And I just want to have this one back to me. There it is. So to show you how it works, we made a small demo, a video. And on this video, you can see me standing here with my spotlight. And you all agreed it was a bright light. But see what's happening here. That is our prototype. It's going very fast, from 0 to 5 or 10 meters. And you can see here the small box. From there, it's tethered with a cable to provide 4 hours of operation. We took also some pictures. This is my spotlight again. Compare with this one on 5 meters, or this one on 10 meters. Light on, please. Thank you very much. That was quick. We've been talking to more than 20 companies, and the main part of that thinks it is a very interesting concept, but they have some problems with the legal part. And we are addressing that legal part with the official bodies in Denmark. In fact, 2 companies really like the concept so much that they would like to buy it if it could be done right now. But they offered us to help us with a live demo together with those bodies so that we can get our product to the market. At last, we also did a field test with a service engineer, splicing our fiber under Light Up. It's just a short one. On our webpage there's a longer version as well. But this service engineer from Eltel, who's working actually on our FiberNet 24/7, he was very fond about the light. And he told me afterwards, and I quote, "Great light, not blinding, I want it." Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Where are you?
What's the price you think you can sell these for? And what's the price that you have been discussing with the potential buyers?
We discussed different price levels, and the most expensive part is not the elevation part to get it up, but it's the battery. And you can buy cheap batteries and you can buy expensive batteries. And around 4 hours of working we are around 15,000 kroner. Anybody else? Yeah, please.
I thought about using solar panels that charge in the day and then you can use them at night.
No, we don't think about it. We think that there is a charger built in the box, which you can plug onto your car, or when you're coming home at work. It's just like any other power tool,
Okay.
which you are used to. Everybody is using power tools today, so.
Yeah, but if you're, I mean, if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you have a job that works, it's supposed to be 4 hours and it takes 6 hours, and all of a sudden the light goes out, you're pretty fucked.
But you can, while it's in the air, you can remove the bottom container which contains the battery. You can replace that live hot swap, as we call it. Oh, still in the air, so you don't have to think about it. And of course, if you don't charge your power tools, you're lost.
Yeah. It'd be good to make it cordless all the time.
Yeah.
How many units will your first client buy if you clear up that legal hurdle?
We start off small, but there's a potential for a couple of hundred units if every service car from this company can buy them. And we think there is a huge market. We have to get over this what we call drone rules in Denmark, and we are very close to getting a green light on that one. So from that on, we accelerate to make a real prototype which fits in that box, including the battery. So. Yes.
Yeah, and congratulations you. I think you have moved yet again. Very good. So good work. This price you are saying, have you validated that the customers wanting to buy it actually want to pay that amount?
The customers I've been talking to, yes.
So 50,000.
Yeah, but there are different things. There are alternative solutions like that cost around 10,000 kroner. If you want it on a portable one with a higher, how do you call it, pole, it's going to be more expensive because you need a lot of weight or cables to put it on. And light up, you can do it at 3 meters if you like that one, or in 15 meters, depending on if the LED under it is powerful enough. And that's the major difference.
But the market get a bit smaller when you go to this high amount.
I know, it's just different modules. Yeah, please.
Would it be an idea to do a leasing kind of agreement on these drones?
The customer we talk about wants to buy his own equipment. They do it with everything. But of course we're talking to rental companies as well, or leasing on a longer term. And but that's phase 2. Phase 1 is get to the market.
Okay, thank you.
Can we get Jesper?
Yeah. You could not finish with it in any other way.
Lowen, it's a very good measure of how far you can get in a short time span. And this project really impressed me. What you suck in from every time we worked with you on this. So from here, what's the next phase like? What's the issue that you wanna attack first?
My main goal is to get green light from this Trafikbestyrelse who's making the drone rules in Denmark. It's a construction company or body. If that one gives green light, and they asked me to call me back this week, then I'm going to make a fast prototype because at the end of January there's a big event in Denmark, rental companies, where I have maybe a time slot if I have a product. And then I move on to one of the companies I've been talking to who wants to buy those to make this field test and so on and so on. So I'm close.
Good. Thank you. Just 1 second before we finish. Okay, so first, hope you. I think the comment that both Jens and actually just made that the progress which has seen on the teams, not only just that they pitch better, but I think that you see reality, and I think, of course, there's still a lot to do, but most of them at least have validated a lot of the things and have pivoted and have changed. Of course, it's still very far away to even, I think, having a first paying customer, but I think, but they are where they have to be, because, we're still very, very early stage. But, I hope they all have the courage to really go full time. This is the one thing that have tricked me, most of them. They're still not full time. They still calling that studying, and we think I want them to be full time, and then really this has to be their life, and then I think things will move even faster. But I'm super proud, and we are super proud of the teams. So guys, thank you. Big applause for you guys. And I wanted to finish before we go networking in a bit different way, and this is actually a trick or something that Stoyan actually does on his presentations, and I have had the chance to do it twice in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So you have to bear with me, and you guys have to participate on this one. So start by closing your eyes, all of you. So everybody has to close their eyes. Start relaxing, your shoulders, free up your mind a little bit. Okay? We're in a big movie theater. They are projecting a movie. And the movie is actually about you. It's about your life. That your life 5 years from now, you have achieved everything you wanted. What is it there? You start smiling. Where do you wake up in the morning 5 years from now? Where you? There is no issues with money, with time. Who do you spend your time with? What do you do with that time? Who are you helping now? You have time. What is this moment that you're so proud of? That moment that every time you think about it, you smile. Where are you traveling? Where are those adventures that you always wanted to do and you never did because you didn't have money, you were too busy? Where are those adventures? What do you still want to learn about life? What is that intimate model? A moment you share with the person that you really want to spend your life with. The movie is ending. This is your movie. This is your life. You are the producer of your own movies. Don't let anybody direct your movie. Don't let anybody forget that how amazing you have felt the last 2 minutes. We're thinking about 5 years from now. And let's start building that movie today. Thank you. We have some drinks, some food, hopefully some more questions.
Almost as good as you. Almost there. It's always good to be second best.
Yeah, it's always good to copy. It's always good to copy. Yes, this is just the initial.
So active for everybody. I'm like, whoa. small movie. Well, but I think it feels right what it is. I mean, it could be better. Of course, you could put something that's more like the one that was supposed to be the one more shape drop of the idea of very far from market. No. And they say you can't do that these things you talk about in public. And it's better to talk to them in press than in the So that's what we're doing. And I was afraid of that when I was my idea of we'll see how far we do it. I know how far we can go. When somebody else does something like this.
Of course, there's no banners. But there's a lot of asphalt. I hope you will be asphalt. That's what there's a lot of asphalt.
Not just construction and stuff, but also you have to put what's going on. Because otherwise you have story in 10 hours. No, I think that's great. Last time I did it. Could you remember the box? Could you remember the box? Some hiccups in the light. That's a later. That's a later.
Thank you.